What's going on, everybody? American Football Network here with another video today. And today we're bringing you our Iowa State preview prediction video. But before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Help me hit that goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of August. Make sure you guys check out our shop. It just launched a few weeks ago. We've got over 200 products in there. You can find links for that in the description on the channel page. You can also find the link right here. I'll leave a card for it. You can find some tagged products at the bottom of this video. So make sure you guys check all of that good stuff out. We really appreciate all the support we've gotten from that. And I hope you guys enjoy some of the stuff. If you have any design ideas or product ideas, make sure you guys email me. You can find that in the description or in the About section on the channel page. So check all that stuff out, but let's go ahead and dive into this Iowa State video. Last year, they went 4-8, 1-8 in the Big 12, a rebuilding season for them for sure. They only won one conference game, and that was against West Virginia, 31-14, so not very good at all for them last year. And Matt Campbell in his 7th season. After 7 years, he's 46-42 at Iowa State. So definitely hoping for a little bit of a better season this season, although I'm not sure he will necessarily get it. He does return 8 starters on offense, 7 starters on defense. I take that as a little bit of a grain of salt. You return 8 starters on offense, 7 on defense from a team that went 4-8 last year, 1-8 in the Big 12, was 10th in the Big 12 in scoring offense, rushing offense, and total offense. And then you return a defense, though, that did rank first in every category in the Big 12 last year. First in scoring defense, first in rushing defense, first in passing defense, and first in total defense. So if they can get the offense going, the defense was 1-1-1-1-1 on all 4 of those categories. However, the offense was 10-10-3 and 10. The only thing that they were third in was passing offense at 261.8 yards per game. So if they can get the rushing and the scoring and the total offense up to go along with the best defense in the Big 12, this is a team that could be a pretty good team. The problem is, can they get that offense up? They don't really have any of those big-time players like they've had. They don't have the Brock Purdy, the Breece Hall, the Charlie Kolar. They don't even have a Chase Allen, any guys like that. What was the big wide receiver for them? I'm blanking on his name. I can't think of the wide receiver that they had, but they don't have him either. So this is a team that is going to need to replace some big key pieces that they've had the luxury of having the last few years, but don't have anymore. They're going to need to replace that. But let's go ahead and look at their schedule. So week 1, they get Northern Iowa. This is a win, an easy win. Northern Iowa needs no discussion here. They're not going to be able to compete with a team like Iowa State. Then they get Iowa at home. I do have this game as a loss. I think in week 2 they're going to have a hard time scoring on that elite Iowa defense. I think that's the biggest concern I see for Iowa State in this game is just being able to score against that Iowa defense. Now, can Iowa score points either? That's the question. Iowa State scored 10 points last year, and it was enough for the win, as Iowa could only score 7. So I expect another game, kind of similar score, a little bit more scoring-wise. But it's kind of a toss-up game to me, really, but I am going to go with Iowa. Then they go on the road to Ohio. This is a win, easy win. They beat them 43-10 last year, doing a home-and-home, it looks like, with them. So kind of embarrassing for Iowa State to be doing a home-and-home with Ohio, but at least they destroyed them last year and will probably destroy them again this year. Then they get Oklahoma State at home. I have this game as a win. Last year they lost on the road to Oklahoma State 20-14. I think Iowa State will be a little bit better. I think Oklahoma State will be a little bit worse. And it's at Iowa at Jack Trice Stadium. So I'm going to give Iowa State the win in this game. I think they're able to pull it off. Then they go on the road to Oklahoma. They lost 27-13 last year. I think they'll lose by even more this year. I just think Oklahoma is that much better of a team. I think they improved by a lot more again this year. And I just think Oklahoma is going to be a dangerous team in the Big 12 this season. And I think Iowa State just isn't up for the task. Then they get TCU at home. I have this game as a win. I think TCU is they're bringing back or they're losing so much, they're going to have to replace so much. I think a team like Iowa State is going to be the team that could potentially take advantage of that. Although they did lose on the road last year, 62-14. I just feel like TCU isn't going to be the same animal as they were last year, and I feel like Iowa State can win that game. Then they go on the road to Cincinnati. I have this game as a loss. I think Cincinnati, to me, this is going to be an interesting game. It's on the road to Cincinnati. Iowa State has a good defense. I just see Cincinnati being creative enough with Scott Satterfield and Emory Jones teaming up together, coach and quarterback. I just see them being able to be creative enough to confuse this Iowa State defense and to be able to score enough points to win the game. I think they will win the game. Again, I think Iowa State's going to have an up and down season, and I think Cincinnati can pull off a win. Then Iowa State goes on the road to Baylor. I have this game as a loss. To me, Baylor is just a better football team. I don't think there's a whole lot of argument against that. Baylor only beat them 31-24 last year, but this year I do think it will be a bigger margin of victory for them. Then Iowa State gets Kansas at home. I have this game as a win. They lost on the road to Kansas last year, 14-11. I think that they're going to be able to beat the Jayhawks this year, get a little bit of revenge. I still think Kansas is going to be a good team like they were last year. I just see Iowa State as a team that is going to be able to mess with them and a team that's going to be able to aggravate them and a team that's going to be able to honestly probably upset them, I would say, in this game. It's probably going to be an upset if Iowa State beats Kansas, and I think that's how it'll play out. Then they go on the road to BYU. This is a loss. I think Keaton Slovis and that offense is going to be too much. You're having to travel a good ways to BYU, different atmosphere, different environmental conditions. I think BYU gets the win here. I think that gives them an advantage. That home field advantage is a little bit different than a lot of places than that Iowa State has to travel to, and I think that'll really help BYU. And I just think BYU is a slightly better football team too. But then they get Texas at home. This game is a loss. Quinn Ewers will throw for 500 yards on this defense and absolutely kill them. Texas will roll big. Although last year they did only win by 3, 24-21. But I expect Texas to be a more consistent and more improved football team this year. Then Iowa State closes out their season on the road at Kansas State. This game is a loss. I think Kansas State very well could win the Big 12. Again, they bring back Will Howard. He's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. They bring back a lot of experience and very disciplined guys. I think Kansas State is probably the second best team in the Big 12 coming into the season. I think Texas would be my pick as the best team coming into the season, although I don't know if I would pick them to win the Big 12. But I think it's Texas, Kansas State, Oklahoma. Up there is the big three. And, I think that Kansas State potentially is the best one of the three. We'll have to wait and see. They're definitely a top 3 team, though, in the conference. So I just don't see Iowa State being able to really compete with that. So that wraps up their season. I have them going 5-7 overall, 3-6 in the conference. So, a little bit better than last year. Still not a good year for Matt Campbell and the Cyclones as they're kind of rebuilding, trying to get the recruiting back and get those big-time players developed like they did a few years ago and go on some big runs and have some big seasons. But that wraps up today's video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment those thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you guys check out the shop. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next time.